Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Play on GAA. My name is Seamus Brady and I'm going to be giving my reaction to the Galway versus Mayo match in the Connacht Football Championship of 2022. The Connacht Football Quarter Final. Galway getting their first championship victory over Mayo since 2018. Pádraig Joyce getting his first championship victory against Mayo as Galway manager. A hugely significant victory for Galway. Let's get into the game. I think Mayo, again, it was a typical Mayo defeat, really, wasn't it? I mean, in terms of they had their burst right towards the end where they seemed to have all the momentum behind them, and then they just didn't really manage to get over the line in the end. But starting out for the game, right? 26,000 was the attendance in Castlebar in Mayo. Really, really good attendance for this game. They had a real championship feel right from the start. Kieran O'Connor was starting corner forward for Mayo. That was a big boost for them. Aidan O'Shea was at midfield. So no Jordan Flynn in there, of course, after he'd played pretty much the entire league for Mayo in there. And crucially, another injury for Mayo. Oisin Mullen did his hamstring in the second half. He's a massive blow. I mean, I hope that he turns out to be okay because he's a superb footballer. And that would be a huge blow for Mayo if Mullen was not able to take part in the next championship game. But let's get into the game itself. Hugely impressive start from Galway. 15 seconds in, Shane Walsh hit a great point. That was straight out of the Cian O'Neill handbook. I mean, Galway attacking right from the throw in. Shane Walsh drops the shoulder. Lovely point. In the second minute, before the second minute, Mayo were level. But then in the fourth minute, Rob Finnerty pointed after a Conroy effort dropped short to put Galway back in front. In the fifth minute, there was a potential penalty shout. Jason Doherty got the ball. He was potentially fouled. I think it was by Dylan McHugh and Kieran Molloy. The referee, absolutely right not to give it, in my opinion. Jason Doherty clearly was waiting for the contact and then he went down. He was clearly looking to buy it. The referee didn't give it to him. Correct decision. In the 6th minute, Niall Daly hit a corker off his left on his first start for Galway in the championship, and now they were 3 points to 1 up. And then 40 seconds after Daly's point, Galway had the game's only goal, courtesy of a poor Rory Byrne kick out. Galway turned it over very well, and then it ended up in the hands of Johnny Heaney, who really now, Aidan O'Shea was poor for this. Pádraig O'Hora, first of all, was caught ball watching. He didn't cover himself in glory in this move either. He followed the ball out of the middle, so now Mayo aren't covered there. Comer hand passes it across into Johnny Heaney. The hand pass clearly favours Aidan O'Shea. I'd say it's at least a 60-40% in favour of Aidan O'Shea. He waits for the ball. Johnny Heaney bursts in, gets past him, takes the ball around Rory Byrne, slides it into the net, and that turned out to be the game's crucial score. Galway now at that point were 1-3 to a point up. Then Mayo hit a point in the 9th minute to make it 1-3 to 2 points. And then Damien Comer, he looks right back to his best. And the point that really illustrated how much he is back to his best was in the 10th minute when he came out, won the ball that was kicked into him, caught it well, ran out, turned and kicked a gorgeous point to make it 1-4 to 2 points. Kieran O'Connor hit a free on the 12th minute to make it 1-4 to 3. Then coming up to the 13th minute, there was a goal chance, a brilliant Damien Comer pass, but Kieran Molloy was put under serious pressure and he fired wide. So it's been a very fast opening quarter. Had a real championship feel to it, as I mentioned, right from the start. In the 16th minute, Kieran O'Connor tapped over another free to make it 1-4 to 4 points. And then just before the 20th minute, Owen McLaughlin ran hard and put the ball over the bar to make it 1-4 to 5 points after a good turnover on Finian O'Lee. Unfortunately, and this is one of the key moments of the game, Finian O'Lee was done by Kieran O'Connor. Kieran O'Connor, I don't care what anyone says, he knew exactly what he was doing here. Finian O'Lee did not play cynical here. He was running back because he had just been turned over. He was clearly a bit stressed. He potentially made a mistake which could lead to a Mayo score. He's sprinting back with everything he has. Kieran O'Connor just kind of looks back, sees him coming, and just runs across the front of him. Olai can't stop himself. He runs into the back of O'Connor. O'Connor goes down, and a black card is given to Finian O'Lee as if he deliberately taken him out. I mean, that's clever from Kieran O'Connor, but there's no way that Olai meant to take him out. Anyway, Finian O'Lee goes to the sin bin for 10 minutes. Mayo put the squeeze on at this period. The 22nd minute, Diarmuid O'Connor hit a brilliant point off his left foot, one of the scores of the game. And then in the 24th minute, there was a key moment for Galway as Shane Walsh won the free on his own pretty much. And he converted that free in the 26th minute to make it 1-5 to 6 points. we're going to talk about the bullshit that was with Walsh with his, time waste and now all of a sudden I have a head injury, let me waste the clock. You know me, if you've been a subscriber to this channel and if you've watched my videos, you know how much I hate the GAA's method of timekeeping. It's a joke. It's so outdated. And I'm going to talk about it at the end of this video. But anyway, Walsh converts that free. Ryan O'Donoghue responds for Mayo a minute later with a boomer from a tight angle, set up by Lee Keegan. Now it's 1-5 to 7 points. And Ryan O'Donoghue then fists over the equaliser, set up by Diarmuid O'Connor with a hand pass. Now it's 1-5 to 8 points. Paul Conroy hits his first point of the game in the 31st minute after a good Galway move to make it 1-6 to 8 points. 30 seconds later, James Carr equalises. He looked like he definitely pushed Sean Kelly, but he was let away with it. And he kicks it brilliantly over the bar with his left foot. 1-6 to 9 points. In the 37th minute, this could have changed the game. Jason Doherty had a goal chance brilliantly blocked by Liam Silk. And then that was it. Halftime, 1-6 to Galway, 9 points to Mayo. I think a draw at halftime was definitely fair. Both teams. Galway had the first quarter, no doubt. Galway were sharper in the first quarter, but Mayo, courtesy of the black card, really stormed back into the game in the second quarter. Then going into the second half, Patrick Kelly came on at halftime for Niall Daly. I thought he was very, very impressive. Then in the 36th minute, Aidan O'Shea claimed a mark. He set up James Carr for a nice point and Mayo took the lead. But then obviously, as I mentioned at the start of this video, Oisin Mullen, 2 minutes later, his hamstring just went and it was nasty. You could see it. The second his hamstring went, he knew his day was done. He goes off and the Hessian comes in. Another huge injury for Mayo to go along with the likes of Tommy Conroy. I mean, I hope he's back as quick as possible. In the 39th minute, Kieran Molloy hit a lovely point after a good Galway move and it's level again. In the 42nd minute, there was a flash goal chance for Cillian O'Connor, a brilliant recovery by Jack Glynn to deny O'Connor the goal chance. It was a Diarmuid O'Connor quick free over the top. Cillian O'Connor looked like he might be running onto a goal chance, brilliantly done by the young defender Jack Glynn. In the 45th minute, Cillian McDaid came in for Finian O'Leary. Not the best day for O'Leary. I think the black card really knocked his confidence. In the 46th minute, Shane Walsh converted a brilliant 45 off the ground to make it 1-8 to 10 points. And this is where Galway took over. This period here is where Galway won the game. In the 47th minute, Cillian McDaid hit a point with his first touch after coming on off the bench. That was followed up by a bad wide by Matt Horan. So Galway really now have the momentum at this point, illustrated by another fantastic free by Shane Walsh in the 50th minute to make it 1-10 to 10 points. And then in the 53rd minute, Walsh converted another 45 to make it 1-11 to 10 points. In the 54th minute, Cillian O'Connor missed a 45. And that made it 18 minutes without a score for Mayo, which is just illustrates where they lost the game. Today. In the 57th minute, Paul Conroy hit a great point to make it 1-12 to 10 points. And then in the 59th minute, Cillian O'Connor hit Mayo's first point in 23 minutes. That's just unforgivable for a game of this stature, for a game of this importance. Mayo did not deserve to win this game when they go that amount of time without scoring. In the 61st minute, another Conroy point after a great counter attack by Galway had it 113 to 11 points, and a Johnny Heaney point coming up to the 64th minute had Galway 6 points in front at 114 to 11 points. In the 67th minute, Lee Keegan hit a gorgeous point with the outside of his boot, showing he still has all the class in the world. Now it's 114 to 12 points, and Mayo get their burst of momentum, which is a trademark Mayo thing to do at this stage. Ryan O'Donoghue hits a lovely point, 114 to 13 points, and a Cillian O'Connor free from close in has it 114 to 14 points. Out of nowhere, Mayo are back in the game. In the 73rd minute, Cillian O'Connor hit a free to make it 114 to 15. And in the 74th minute, a lovely score by Kevin McLaughlin after a great mark by Cillian O'Connor from the resulting kick out after his free has it a 1 point game, 114 to 16 points in favour of Galway. But then Mayo get their chance. It falls to Aidan Orme to equalise the game, and Aidan Orme blazes it wide. Full time at McHale Park in Castlebar. Galway 114, Mayo 16 points. Galway's first win in the championship, as I mentioned, against Mayo since 2018, and Pádraig Joyce's first victory over Mayo in the championship. And interesting enough, James Horan's first defeat to Galway in the championship as well. Hugely significant. I mean, what can you really take from this? Mayo obviously took that battering against Kerry in the league final. Was that in their heads going into this game? Who knows? Maybe they didn't recover in time. Galway definitely seemed to have, not taken it to heart as much, their league final defeat. They lost to Roscommon, of course, in the Division 2 final. And now they look set for a showdown with Roscommon in the Connacht final. I know that Sligo are to play Roscommon, and I know that Leitrim are to play Galway, but I can't see any other Connacht final other than Galway v Roscommon. It's going to be very interesting to see part 3, because they played twice already this year in the league, in the normal rounds, and then in the league final. And Roscommon have won both. So without doubt, Galway will be looking to get even and to win the most important game of the lot. As I was mentioning about the time, I mean, this is a personal one for me at this stage. Like, I just can't stand it. I don't understand why we persist with this in the GAA, why we don't have a clock like the LGFA, a countdown clock. And people say, oh, well, what about the attack and what about the hooter? I'd have it like the rugby. Where once the hooter goes, okay, that's the last attack now. This is the last play. Once this ball goes out, it's over. I'd do it like that, because that makes it fair. Because once you got down to the 75th minute, you realize that it's completely in David Coldrick's hands. It's completely in his hands. If he wants to play it on for another minute and a half to give Mayo an attack, that's completely up to him. If he wants to blow it up now and let Galway win, that's completely up to him. Like, it's a joke, in my opinion, that with such huge stakes that you're leaving it down to just the ref to just decide when the game's over. And as well as that, when Galway had their sin bin, remember I was saying about Shane Walsh, with all of a sudden he has the worst head injury in the world for a minute. I mean, like, Galway had a player sin binned, and I'd say the amount of time that was actually being played while that player was in the sin bin was about 5 minutes. Galway kept stopping the game for Conor Gleeson's kickouts. Every free that Shane Walsh took, he took about a minute over it. It's just a joke at this stage why you can't just stop the clock while someone is taking ages, while someone is injured, while someone is coming on as a substitute. Why we can't stop the clock like they do in the ladies' games. That way you have 35 minutes flat out in either half. You can't argue about the time. I mean, how many times over the years have we had issues with the timekeeping? I mean, the most potent example I can think of is the 1998 All-Ireland semi-final between Offaly and Clare. I know that's going way back. To give you a more recent example, do you remember Dublin versus Monaghan in the league in 2020 when the referee played like 9 minutes of added time and Dublin equalised, and there was all sorts kicking off over that? This just takes a pressure off the referees that they could do without, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I think it's just a no-brainer at this point. Have a countdown clock with a hooter at the end, announcing when time is up, and then there's the last attack, and when the ball goes dead after that last attack, it's over. That is the way to do it, which is the most fair, in my opinion, and takes any human error when it comes to time out of it. But anyway, massive congratulations to Galway. Huge win for them, 114 to 16 points. They move on to the Connacht Semi Final, and it's the qualifiers for Mayo. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you thought of this game. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And until next video, guys, here on Play on GAA, take care.